They don't sell lawn furniture, televisions, or power tools. They sell better sleep. They're the Yawn Exterminators, helping neighbors wake up refreshed for 3 decades. Just Beds' 30 years of sleep expertise makes all the difference.
Just Beds. WTIM.
Good morning, Central Illinois, and welcome to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and in this first conversation, we're talking all about cottage cheese. It tastes good. It's good for you. And hey, with school starting up, it might come in handy for, making some quick meals to work around your busy schedule. And here to talk about all of that is Meagan Modrusic, a nutrition educator with the St. Louis District Dairy Council. Meagan, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you, and a good topic to talk about this morning in terms of cottage cheese. Like I said, tastes good for you. Talk about how it is good for people, what it brings in terms of nutrition.
Yeah, absolutely. So cottage cheese, it is versatile, it is nutritious, and you can eat it on its own. You can put it in recipes, and each half of a cup of cottage cheese contains about 12 to 14 grams of high quality protein. As we know, it's great for our muscle growth, great for repair, and it really, that protein helps promote a sense of fullness after meals. So it's really great to add more protein to your meals to get that, fullness after. And of course, cottage cheese is a dairy food, so you're going to get lots of nutrition. You're going to get calcium and phosphorus, great for your bones, B vitamins, which are great for your metabolism, support your nerve health. Lots of great things found in cottage cheese. And then even some cottage cheeses have healthy probiotics, and that's like good bacteria, and that can help with your digestion. So lots of great things in cottage cheese, just in a little bit. I mean, a half of a cup, and it's got all these great nutrients in it.
And it sounds like you mentioned a little bit of everything when it comes to what people are going to look for in food to keep themselves healthy. So yeah, it seems like it's the jack of all trades when it comes to that. So yeah, talk about how cottage cheese is used nowadays in terms of maybe some of those recipes or other uses.
Yeah, so I mean, cottage cheese recently, it's been trending. I mean, every time I go on social media and I'm, looking up healthy recipes or whatever, I see recipes that are involving cottage cheese. So it has been used in lots of different ways. You can use cottage cheese on its own, add it to a lasagna kind of as maybe a ricotta replacement, or, add it to a casserole and just mix it in. But a lot of people are blending their cottage cheese. That's kind of this new trend. If you blend it up, then you don't get that lumpy texture, which a lot of people have an issue with. And so I swear every time I get on social media, somebody is blending cottage cheese and adding it to the recipes because it is a powerhouse, right? And when you add it, you get this smooth consistency and it's cheesy and it's just delicious. So blend it up, add it to your recipe, and hey, maybe make a video and go viral.
Oh, there you go. As well, a lot of people are doing nowadays, and I'd never thought about putting it in a blender. But yeah, I suppose it then would take those lumps out that some people may prefer not to have. But then
exactly
you've got that. Yeah, no, you've got that right there. So we talked about going viral. Now obviously that's the thing nowadays. You've got your content creators. Creating their content. Let's just say that, and talk about what effect that's had, if at all, on cottage cheese sales and people just enjoying cottage cheese.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these last few years have been, huge, not only in the views, but on the shelves and in the dairy industry as well. So there has been an increased demand of these high protein foods like cottage cheese. And a lot of people are adding cottage cheese to their carts now, right? I feel like it's kind of something that I used to eat when I was a kid, and then I felt like it went away and now it's back. But so earlier this year, there's been market research, and it reported that there was a 19% increase in cottage cheese sales within the last year. So that's a great increase in the year. But this is not just this year. This has been going many, many years ago, like several years. It's been increasing sales. And cottage cheese has surpassed $2 billion in sales on an annual basis. So cottage cheese continues to grow, and more people continue to use it. And that's great.
$2 billion in sales is I think what you said there. And I know it makes me think of candy sales around Halloween. I remember numbers about a decade and a half ago, around $1 billion. Now, obviously, time has passed. There's been inflation. I wonder how it compares now. Do you happen to know about that?
No, that's a great question, though.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll have to look that up at some point, but see what that is like. The question I have about cottage cheese: how did it get its name?
I have no clue. I mean, I assume it goes back to, people in the cottage days. I mean, it's the cheese that doesn't take too much effort, right? So you're separating the curds and the whey, through a process where you put bacteria into your milk and it separates the curds and the whey, and then you leave it like that. It doesn't have to go through any more processing. So I assume that that's the cottage way of doing it, right? That's the old school, easy way to do it. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no, well, but something else for us to figure out too. But that was just a little curiosity I had as well, in addition to the candy thing. Back to cottage cheese and its benefits. I know you folks do a recipe of the month every month, and it sounds like cottage cheese is front and center in this month's recipe of the month. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this month we are doing a creamy cottage cheese chicken and rice bake. So we had, busy nights on our brains, and we wanted to make a one-pot meal that takes just a little bit of time. So this recipe, if you can prep it, it can take about 45 minutes altogether. So it's about 15 minutes of prep and 30 minutes in the oven. But it is just essentially cottage cheese, brown rice, chicken broth, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and then you do whatever vegetables you like. We've got spinach, mushrooms, cherry tomatoes in here, but you can really use any vegetables that you like. You can use canned vegetables, canned peas, canned carrots, steamed things, steamed broccoli, asparagus. These are great choices. And then it uses rotisserie chicken. So this is a great way to just do a quick meal for the night. And if you want to make it even quicker, you can make it the night before. You can prep your ingredients the night before, and then you can just bake it all in one pan. But yeah, you put all the ingredients into one pan, and then you bake it at 375 for about 35 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, 35 minutes then in the oven, and I've got the recipe right here in front of me, and yeah, it seems like you got a whole lot of spices. It mentions here mozzarella cheese as well. So you've got your mozzarella cheese and your cottage cheese. So yeah, sounds very cheesy. I guess my question then would be, why quite that amount of cheese, and why, the extra addition of mozzarella?
Well, because it's delicious, one, but also
yes.
Because, added calcium, added protein, nothing wrong with that. I think that people kind of are wary about cheese, but you shouldn't be. It's so great for you. It's got, has protein, definitely has calcium, vitamin D, and it's great for your teeth as well. So, and it can make any meal delicious. If you don't like vegetables, cover it with cheese. No problem.
That has actually been my go-to trick all these years, doing exactly that. So yeah, that's super cool. Creamy cottage cheese, chicken, and rice bake. So that's the name I have in front of me here. And is this recipe available online as well?
It absolutely is. It is on our website, stldairycouncil.org. We've got tons of great recipes if you're looking for some back-to-school recipe hacks.
Yeah, and I'm sure that is quite timely, of course, with school starting. I know we've got schools in our area here in Taylorville and the surrounding towns starting this week, in fact. So very relevant indeed. I'm talking right now with Meagan Modrusic, a nutrition educator with the St. Louis District Dairy Council. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about what the St. Louis District Dairy Council is doing with schools this year, now that school is starting. So should be a lot of interesting points to hear about right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
It's never too early to start thinking about back-to-school preparations. Part of getting your kids ready for the new school year means making sure they're healthy. SIU Center for Family Medicine is here to help with back-to-school and sports physicals. Healthy kids learn better and play harder. Call 217-824-1134 today to schedule your appointment. That's 217-824-1134. SIU Medicine. Forward for you.
Get ready to hit the links. It's the Hart Media Group's Summer Scramble. Join us at Lakeshore Golf Course in Taylorville, Friday, August 14th for a day of fun, sun, and golf. Register now online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Refreshment services, Pepsi, Educator, the perfect taste for your game.
The Hart Media Group Summer Scramble, presented by Refreshment Services Pepsi Decatur. We'll see you there.
Of the 2024 construction projects by Christian County businesses, those businesses saved an estimated $370,000 in sales tax by utilizing the county's enterprise zone. Through the efforts of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation over the past 20-plus years to establish and grow the county's enterprise zone, new and existing businesses in the county can save significantly in sales taxes. Find out how they can help your business by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. The Christian County Economic Development Corporation is moving Christian County forward.
Taylorville Care Center's personalized therapy program helps you get back to enjoying the sunshine. Whether it's backyard barbecues, grandkid games, or summer strolls, we'll get you moving again. You'll have a private room, great medical care, and the therapy you need to get home and back to doing what you love. Friends and family are always welcome to stop by and cheer you on if you've been in the hospital or just need a little boost. Taylorville Care Center is here to help. Call 824-9636. 824-9636. Taylorville Care Center, caring for our community for over 50 years.
If you're looking for music that stood the test of time, join me, Randy Miller, Sunday mornings from 6 to 8 on 96.5thechill.com. I host Steady Ground Replay, a 2-hour journey back to the roots of contemporary Christian music. From the songs that started a movement to the hits that formed our foundation, it's 2 hours of timeless encouragement. Steady Ground Replay, standing on the music that built our faith. Sunday morning, 6 to 8 on 96.5thechill.com.
At People's Bank and Trust, they help their consumer and business customers spend their time living their life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, they put people first. Find out how they can help you by clicking their banner ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Robinson from Advanced Title. Whether selling your home on your own or through your local realtor, please give us a call at 824-8007 for all your title work needs.
WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, and it's sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and I continue the conversation today with Meagan Modrusic, nutrition educator with the St. Louis District Dairy Council, and we spent the first part of the show talking all about cottage cheese and the nutritional benefits of it and how it can be worked into recipes. Might talk a little more about cottage cheese in a bit. I do want to turn our attention now to the back to school season, right? We're getting started with school again. A lot of the schools in central Illinois start this week, if not next week. And I know you folks at the Dairy Council do a lot of work with schools, a lot of work with the media as well, and other organizations to, well, educate people about nutrition and in particular dairy. Talk about how the St. Louis District Dairy Council will be working with schools this fall, and in particular, any big changes coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are so excited to get back into schools. We had a nice little break in the summer, but we're ready to get back in. So starting soon, our Adopt a Calf program is going to start up again. And this is a great program. This is kind of a virtual dairy barn. So classrooms can adopt a calf. And so this can be a kindergarten classroom all the way through, senior year of high school. Anyone can adopt a calf. And you get to name your calf, you get a birth certificate for your calf, and you get a big poster to hang on your wall, because each month you're going to get a new picture of your calf and you get to watch your calf grow up. From October through May, you'll get a monthly photograph, an update. You'll get, videos from your farmer. You'll get resources to use in your classroom. We have contests and different activities that you can do. You can even win a trip to the dairy farm. So that's a great benefit that we do with this program. But it is just such a great program for all ages. And we've had even, nurses do it, or the whole school will adopt one calf, or a cafeteria will adopt a calf. But it's just a great way to connect students and teachers with, the farm to what they're getting at their table, right? We're connecting the cottage cheese to the dairy farm and to the cow, and, how that all kind of works. And so it's a great program. So the barnyard, which is kind of our opening day, right? That will start on August 17th. and that's when you can go in and adopt your calf. And that will go all the way through September 25th. So about 4 weeks for our barnyard to be open. So you have all that time to adopt your calf and be in so you can receive those monthly photos and resources for your classroom. So that's one of my favorite programs. We have so much fun with it. I get to come in and talk to kids about, their farmer, and we get to dive in more about where their calf lives and what their calf does every single day. And it's just such a fun program.
That sounds like fun. I mean, and my ears lit up when you were, talking about it at the start, and just feeling that connection to the animal, to the kind of the beginning of the road to what leads to the food we eat. So I would think it sounds like a lot of fun, especially for schools as well. So really cool to hear about.
Absolutely. And it's completely free. I don't know if I mentioned that. All of our programs are completely free. So this is just something that you sign up for. You can do it on our website. And that's stldairycouncil.org. And you can even go in now and put your email in to be notified on August 17th if you don't want to wait till then to start. But that is our Adopt a Calf program. Starts on August 17th. But we are also in schools in different ways. We are in our cafeterias. We do lots of cafeteria programs, trying to promote milk and trying to promote dairy in our schools. Again, making that connection of this is what you're drinking at school, this is your milk, and this is the farm that it comes from, that kind of thing. And we do grants for our cafeteria. So this year in our 131 counties, we have 3 different grants that we are given money to. So we've got 23 schools that will serve smoothies twice a week, and that is our Serving Up Smoothie Grant. So we sent our cafeterias all the smoothie, materials like the blender and the big buckets and the recipes and things. And so twice a week, 23 schools will serve smoothies. And then we have a coffee program as well. And so again, we sent 14 high schools all the materials to implement a coffee program and promote coffee and dairy and coffee and things like that. And so that's 14 high schools. And then 21 schools are using our Dollars for Dairy grants. And that's essentially just up to $2,000 to purchase any kind of equipment that you need for your cafeteria that will allow more dairy foods to be served. And so these are great, especially in some of those, small towns where maybe your cafeteria needs a little bit of an upgrade or you need a little bit more fun in your cafeteria. These are some great programs that we run, that we can promote dairy and make your cafeteria a little bit more interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, no, interesting. I mean, hey, with the Adopt a Calf program, well, there's certainly the interestingness right there. And then, in terms of bringing the access to nutrition, it sounds like you're doing that with the program. You said $2,000 grants for the qualifying schools.
Yeah, absolutely. So this program, our Dollars for Dairy and all of our smoothie programs, those usually start in the spring. So we'll take applications in the spring and choose our winners in the early summer. And then so all of our schools will get their equipment that they either won or that, the programs that we're doing, the smoothies and the coffee, we just send them all the equipment. These are, just free money for our schools that we pick every single year. We've got lots of people that apply. Not everyone wins, but apply every single year. We're happy to send you guys some good stuff.
All right. Yeah, that is really cool. So are schools like this academic year, the one that's about to start, going to be, or some of them going to be receiving the grants?
Yes. Yep. We've got, a ton of schools.
All right. And then, so $2,000, I was kind of trying to, divvy up the money in terms of costs, in terms of, what it would theoretically cost. So are we talking it would buy maybe like, the big like freezer for, the cafeteria kitchen, maybe some of the blenders, with just over a minute to go. How does that kind of work out?
Yeah, we've got schools that are doing kind of all kinds of things. So we've got, people doing these salad bars where they're doing parfaits in the morning, build your own parfait, and then salad bars in the lunchtime with, cottage cheese and cheese for their salads and things like that. But then also we're, giving milk coolers if you need an upgraded milk cooler, or a merchandiser, which is essentially just a refrigerator with a clear glass, to show off all your dairy products. Truly, whatever your cafeteria needs to, get dairy out there, we're happy to fund it.
That is really cool. 30 seconds left. Where again can folks find you online and on socials?
Absolutely. Our website is stldairycouncil.org, and our Facebook and Instagram is STL Dairy Council.
All right. The St. Louis District Dairy Council, a lot of great things going on over there. And I would even argue even better things going on at the schools that will benefit from their grants. Meagan Modrusic, nutrition educator with the St. Louis District Dairy Council, has been our guest in this part of the show. Meagan, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for listening here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with another conversation. Should be a good one, so please stay tuned.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville.